Happy St. Patrick's Day, YouTube. The Special U.S. Court of Federal Claims ruled that vaccines could not have caused the autism of an Oregon boy, William Meade, ending his family's quest for reimbursement. I feel a great deal of sympathy for William and his family. Being autistic is a horrible burden. I can't imagine what it must be like having your view of the world skewed like that, being unable to process what we do without thinking, and the issues of having a special needs child are overwhelming. And the desire to find someone to blame for that cause must be profound, because you desperately, desperately want to find someone you can point a finger at and say, that person or that thing caused my son's issue. And the reality is it's probably genetic. We're not 100% sure why or what triggers it. Does it happen on its own, or are there environmental issues on top of a genetic component as well? Research continues. But it wasn't caused by mercury in vaccines. It wasn't caused by the vaccines at all. And as much as Jenny McCarthy may want you to believe otherwise, vaccines do not deform children. And there's a very good chance that her child never had autism, so the miraculous cure that he underwent was nothing of the sort. And I know this is a bitter pill to swallow for many people who are looking to blame someone for their children's autism, but swallow it they must. It's better to just accept the fact that vaccines didn't do this and move on. Maybe someday they can find the real cause. Maybe someday they just have to accept the fact that the genetic dice were against them. Maybe they could spend their energy better taking care of their children and trying to find a way of living their lives with autism as an accommodation in their life. I had a conversation recently with a friend of my wife's. I had just met this woman, and she's a very talkative individual and not afraid to handle any kind of topic. And we came around to the topic of vaccines, and I'm pro-vaccine, and she's more along the lines on the fence. She's not anti-vaccine, but she has doubts about them. And it was enlightening for me to listen to this woman have those doubts. She commented to me that her brother had not been able to have some of the vaccines when he was younger because they were egg-based and he had egg-based allergies. And that even though he had not had the vaccines, he had not gotten the diseases that the vaccine had been designed to protect you from. And my reply was that was because of herd immunity, because the people in the community where her brother lived had all had the vaccine, so that there was no disease vector to deliver the vaccine, the virus, to her brother. So even though he wasn't vaccinated, he didn't get it because he wasn't exposed. He wasn't exposed because the people around him had received the vaccine. And then she discussed, the concept that, maybe the science isn't proven. And I think she was put off by the fact that science is a negative thing most of the time. It isn't about proving things positively. It's about showing when things don't work, and then you're left to interpret the rest of the information on your own, or sciences are. So people put up a theory, they test it. If it fails, it gets tossed by the wayside. They put up another theory. If it doesn't fail, if it passes the tests, it sticks around. And that's how science works. Over time, our understanding grows and grows and grows, even though the process is negative in nature. It's an accumulation over time of little bits of data. But the most important thing she said to me is that as a parent, and I should point out that I am not a parent, I have never been a parent, I have no plans on ever being a parent, but as a parent, that you have a gut feeling about things. Now, instincts, gut feelings, are incredibly important. Look at the review I did on the book, The Gift of Fear, to expand on that idea. So if you're walking down the street and you see a strange dog, there's something about the way that dog moves just doesn't seem right, and you move into a place of safety so the dog walks by and doesn't get near you, those are your instincts doing their job. If you walk into a convenience store one day and everything looks all right, nothing out of the ordinary, but there's a woman in the back aisle and she just seems a little twitchy, and you decide I really don't need that Mars bar right now, and you leave without buying anything. Those are your instincts protecting your ass. They're doing what they're supposed to. They're helping you pick up on signals that your forebrain can't. But the hindbrain, well, that works on a different level. But when your hindbrain is telling you, I don't know if I should give my child a vaccine, your hindbrain has failed. Your hindbrain isn't designed for that kind of a decision. No matter how much you want to feel that gut instinct, that hunch, it's not made to do that. Following your hunch about something based on science and medicine is a lot like asking your cat for advice on particle physics. Unless your name is Schrodinger, it isn't going to be worth your time. Yes, I just made a physics joke. So gut feelings aren't useful here. And I'm afraid that a lot of the people that desperately wanted to believe their children's autism was caused by vaccine were operating on that gut feeling level. They just knew this had to be the cause. And they were wrong. As I pointed out to this woman as we had our conversation, I said, many people come up all the time with simple solutions to complex questions. And they're almost always wrong. There are no simple solutions to complex questions. There are complex answers to complex questions. And that's the problem. People want simple solutions. They don't find them. They get frustrated. So they go out and they look for another simple solution. So I'm glad this court case went in favor of vaccine safety. And I'm hoping that it dissuades a few more people from looking for a cause to something that they may never know the answer to. Sometimes you just have to accept the fact that you're never going to know. There are things that I am never going to know about. Some from my past, some from my present, some from the future. And I accept that fact. The things I can know, I work on. I learn, I read, I research, I ponder, I examine myself whenever I can. But there are things that I'm never going to understand. I just accept that fact. And I move on to things that I have a chance of tackling. It seems like a better way of spending my time, my effort, and my life.